Noel from Rittenhouse. Today we're going to be talking about the JD9-C and the Green Master JD9. Okay, a couple of differences between the JD9-C and the Green Master. One is the writing on the handle. If you see Made in Japan for Hudson, that is the JD9-C, the original, plus it has the garden hose fitting already on it. And if you get the less expensive one, it just has Hudson written on this bar, plus there is no fitting on the end, so you will need to order a garden hose fitting or a quick coupler end, whatever you require for the end of your gun. This is the garden hose connection that you would thread into the end. Tighten up like so. And basically they're both the same gun. They both use the same parts for the repair of them. Same basic nozzle, whirl, seals, and any other part that you may require to repair the gun. Okay, with both guns, Green Master or the JD9-C, you can use the same parts and come up with the same configuration. Now in front of me, you may see the parts on the table here. This is for a deep root feeding kit. Consists of the tubing, adapter for the tubing, step plate, parts for a T-handle, and the tip. I'll show you how to change that over later. Plus we have a different array of nozzles that can be used. They go from extra small to extra large. Take a look at our webpage. You'll be able to see the difference. Now also we have a couple of brass wands. You can get these in different lengths, straight or curved. With the right adapter, you can extend the reach of your JD9 or Green Master gun. A few parts. This would go on the tip and take your nozzle off. You'd add this. Of course, these nozzles would go on the end of the wand, and you can come up with several different configurations. So the other thing you'll find on the website is a complete repair kit. Consists of the main seat, some packing, and a few O-rings. There are a couple other pieces that I don't have with me right now, but I will show you. Inside the gun is the stainless steel shutoff valve, which if it's bent, for the cost of a gun, you may want to just replace the whole thing, taking them apart and rebuilding them. If you can get this part off easy enough, it may be worth it to you. It may not. Your decision. Okay. Online you can find all the parts that you need for the JD9 or the Green Master gun. You'll see an explosive view similar to this online. We do stock all the parts for the unit. This is just an example of a few of the parts. There's the piston rod, internal spring, and a seal kit. And that kit and those parts work in both those guns. Okay, so if we're going to repair the gun, we're going to have to take it apart, obviously. It comes apart in different stages. Let's start by taking the cap off. This is where you'll find the nozzle, one of the O-rings that will come in the kit. Then we're going to take this barrel part off. Notice the screw. Careful when you take the screw out. It is small, and sometimes it is easy to lose. With any luck, you won't need to take it all the way out. As long as it clears the threads, it'll unthread completely. Okay, in here, here's where you'll find one of the other O-rings and a backing washer. And this is the whirl. The whirl plate or whirl nozzle actually is a backwards thread. So to undo it, you actually have to turn it clockwise. It may be a little snug because they do use a Loctite on it. Just kind of work it back and forth a little bit, help break the seal. And it's out. So that's part of it. Now we're going to break this free, the rest of the barrel. If the barrel doesn't break free that easy and you end up rounding the corners off, just go buy a new gun. This is another part that's in that seal kit. This is seat. You have to pry this out and then tap it back in with a hammer. I'm not going to take it out. But all the parts, all the seals are in this bag here. That would be the kit you would order for the seals. Now, to get at this piece, you need to take off this trigger bracket and undo the nuts at the back here. Now there's a nut back here. This is where the packing is in behind. So you need to pull this off as well. Now you just push out the stainless steel rod and the internal spring. Now inside here, that there is the packing to seal it so it doesn't leak out through the back of the gun. All the parts, like I said, are contained in this package. So once you put all your new parts in, you actually just go in reverse. Just snug that up with your finger temporarily. Put your new spring and your new piston in. You put your new seal in, thread this back on. You're going to need to use a little force to push it to get the threads to catch because of the spring. Being careful not to cross thread it. As you're tightening it up, you'll see the thread of that piston coming out. And you tighten it back up with your wrench. Make sure and it's snug. Now you replace the screws on the back side, or rather the nuts. One thing you need to know is on the back here where the arm pulls, you have to leave a little play between so that it's not really tight, so that you have a little bit of movement before the trigger opens. Otherwise it could just continuously run on you. Make sure you got a little bit of movement, about a thread or two. Then you just jam the nuts back together. After you finish jamming them up, take another look to make sure that you have the play there. And you can pull this back. If need be, you can tighten this up a little more. Generally, when it's new, you can get away with just hand tight and a little twist with the wrench before putting the cage back on. Now, like I said, the whirler is reverse thread, so when you go to put it back in, it goes back in counterclockwise. When you put it back in, use a little bit of Loctite. Don't over tighten it. It's brass. It will snap off very easily. Now, note on here that the O-ring and this little nylon washer, back washer, the position when you take them off, place them back in the same position. The nylon washer will go on first, then your O-ring. Then you put your cover barrel on, your adjustment barrel. Tighten the screw back down. Make sure you get it seated all the way. That's what stops the barrel from coming off. It catches the treads as it's going up. Then you replace your nozzle. New O-ring that comes in the kit. And your gun's all repaired. Now, in the next part of the video, we're going to show you some of the adapters to change up the trigger. Most guns can be used like this. You go from a pencil stream, from a fine mist stream. If you open it all the way up, it'll be a nice pencil stream. You can get about 10 to 15 feet, depending on the volume that's coming out of your pump and the size of the nozzle. Okay, let's say you want to do a little bit of weed spraying with this gun. It's not really good that way. So just get yourself a brass wand like that. You would take this cap off. Everything else stays there. And you purchase one of the adapters here for the brass wand. Thread that on. Then you would thread on the brass wand like so. And then you have your choice of nozzles and screens. Got plastic ones with check valves. You can tell they have a little spring inside which holds a little ball in place. Then there's a slotted screen, and then a slotted screen with mesh on with no check valve. Nozzles generally are the flat ones, and a cap. You put your nozzle in, whatever choice of screen you choose. Screen sits in like that. and thread it on like so. Now this is a fan spray, so it'll be out like this. So you can either have it facing that way and get a coverage this way, or you just adjust it so that it'll sit sideways and you can just do like a full rake this way or a full rake that way. Or you can go to an adjustable cone jet nozzle. That's this one here. Once it's tightened down, you can't keep a screen in. There are some products that I don't recommend that you use a screen for, but generally most products I would put in a screen just so the nozzle doesn't plug up. Once you've got the cone jet nozzle in place, it's simple as just turning the nozzle body itself to go from a fine mist, cone mist, to a nice little pencil stream. You can get a little higher reach. So that would be good for applications for weed spraying, or if you got something, little area that you need to get into and need to get a little closer. And like I said, the brass wands vary. You can get straight ones, even longer. Okay. So that's a couple of the wands and things you can use on it. Now this gun is rated for 800 PSI. So it also becomes a favorite for using it for a root feeder. So basically we have it down like this. What we're going to do is we're going to take this body off. We're going to change this gun into a root feeder. Now the root feeder is a kit that you can buy. Look for it online. It'll have the part number that you need to order. The root feeder comes with the adapter, of course. You notice this adapter has no threaded bolt in it. You just tighten this up and you do not twist it after you get it tightened up, because the open flow in it, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be adjusted. We put that on and we take our stainless steel tube. One end will be threaded inside. The other end is threaded outside. Obviously this end will go in here when we finish our connection. But first what we're going to do is we're going to put the step plate on. This makes it a little easier when you go to put it into the ground. You put your weight behind it a little bit. Let's go around, tighten all four of the set screws. Now we're going to put the T-handle on. It consists of this large washer device with threads in it. You get two of the hex bolts here that are threaded. That'll consist of making up a T-handle for you. And this can be adjusted up or down. We'll take it up to about this height for now. And the other thing now is we'll put our tip in, threads into the bottom. Has no ring on it. You notice it just has two holes in it. There are 4-hole ones, 2-hole ones. It comes with the two. Just take a pin or a small nail to tighten it up. Just push through, tighten it up. Now we're going to attach the trigger. when you attach the trigger in any threaded part, always use tape, pipe dope, or silicone tape. And there you have a deep root feeding gun now. Now to use this, obviously you would push it into the ground, hold onto the handle, and use your foot to push it in. Squeeze the trigger and do your count. Let go of the trigger, pull it out, and you're ready to go again. Now, like I was saying, this gun is the Green Master. It is identical inside and out, except this one only comes with the large nozzle. If you require to have a small nozzle, medium nozzle, you'd have to purchase a separate nozzle to go with this. And all our parts are available online. The guns are online. Go to Rittenhouse, www.rittenhouse.ca, and you can just search through. You can get the information on the nozzles. Tells you what the gallons per minute are coming out of each nozzle, the approximate gallons per minute. And it tells you, gives you the information and describes each gun or each part that you may need. So if there's any questions, you can always call us at Rittenhouse, and we'll be glad to help you out.